What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another WNBA video. We have a 5-game slate for Sunday, August 10th. Now, typically, we would jump into each of those games. We'd break them down and analyze them. We talk about which way that I was leaning as far as the points and the spread. But here in this video, we're going to do things just a little bit differently. We're just going to go over my favorite 6 plays on the day. Now, I found a play in each of these games that I like, and I found 2 plays in one of the games that I like. So we'll break down each of those plays, and then we'll go back to our normal format for our videos starting back tomorrow. So thank you guys for dealing with that and, giving me a little bit of grace here as like I said in the last video, man, I got a lot going on in the month of August. So these weekend videos, they're going to be coming out in the mornings, most likely on Saturday and Sundays instead of the night before. And there will be a few of these videos like this here where we just go over my favorite plays. So appreciate the patience with you guys dealing with me, like I said, in that regard. But hey, let's jump into these plays, guys. Oh, wait. We got to recap our plays from yesterday. Almost forgot. Let's jump over there to the Guy Boston Sports website. Let's go ahead and knock that out. Then last night we do end up going 1-1 on the night. We took the Sparks on the money line, and they do not pull through for us, so that is a giant red X. But we took the Sky on the Fever total under 165.5, and we get that green check mark on that one. So 1-1 on the day. So we don't lose any money on the day, but we don't make any money either, which is the ultimate goal end of the day, right? So we look to do that here today. We're going to bounce back with this 5-game slate. Like I said, 6 plays to dive into. Hopefully we can catch a little bit of value on this board, guys. Smash that like button down there for me if you can, man. Hit subscribe if you have not already. Let's jump into the mix. We're going to have to jump over there to Outlier to look at this first play. So let's go ahead and do just that. This is Outlier, guys, that you're looking at here. If you have not gotten on Outlier yet, make sure you get down there into the description. You'll find a link down there that's going to give you a free 7-day trial to try this out for yourself. And you're going to see a good bit of it here in this video. So let's go ahead and dive into it. We're looking at Emma Mieseman on our first play of the game. Now, there's 2 different ways that we can look at this. We're looking at her rebounds, right? And you can see over 5.5 rebounds sitting at plus money right now across the board. Plus 135 is going to be that best price that we can get it at right now at no vig. Now, if you don't want to get risky with it, right, and you want a little bit of a safer option, you can take that at over 4.5 as well. We only need her to catch 5 rebounds at that point. Now, that one is going to be more juiced, right? Sitting at minus 155 over there at Hard Rock. Now, the thing about this play that I like, you scroll over here, look at the lineup. We got a lot of injuries, right, in this game. Nafisha Collier out for the Lynx, their top rebounder, one of the top rebounders in the league. She is obviously out with that right ankle sprain. And then you look at the Liberty side, they got a lot of bigs out as well. Naira Sabale, Kennedy Burke, and Brianna Stewart all out for the Liberty. Now, this is Emma's 4th game with the Liberty. You can see down here, these are the 3 games that she started so far on this season since returning back to the W, landing at 2 rebounds, 3 rebounds, and then 8 rebounds this last time out, right? The rebounds are steadily increasing, and that's because if you scroll on down, her minutes are steadily increasing as well. 31 minutes in that last game that led the Liberty, and those 8 rebounds also led the Liberty in rebounds in that game as well. So I like her to continue that recent, positive upward trend here, right? We only need her to catch 5 rebounds or 6 if we want to get a little bit more risky, man, and play it at plus money. And I like our chances here, like I said, with Fee out on the other side, especially. And you look at that Minnesota team, man, defensively, rebounds allowed. They're sitting at second to last in the WNBA. It's not like they are an elite rebounding team. And then, like I say, you take Fee out of the equation as well. So I definitely like Emma in this spot. All right, next up, I'd be looking at that same game, Minnesota Lynx and the New York Liberty. I'm looking at the Liberty on the money line. Now, yes, it is. It's crazy juice. Crazy juice. Minus 175 is the best price that you're finding it at right now on BetMGM. But there is a 25% WNBA profit boost available over there at FanDuel, and that will get you down to minus 150. Now, still juiced, but definitely worth it in my opinion. We don't got to worry about sweating out any kind of points. Which side's going to cover. We just take the liberty to win this one outright, which I do like their chances of doing, man. If you scroll on down, you can see the Lynx have won 4 straight, 8 of their last 9. Definitely playing good basketball, 3 in a row without Fee, starting here against the Aces on the road and then against the Storm. They won a close battle there. And then against the Mystics as well. So they've won their last 3 without Fee out there. But here's the thing, New York has won 3 in a row as well with Emma Mieseman in the lineup like we just discussed. And they've won those games by an average of 9 points, and they've improved tremendously on the defensive end over that time, specifically sitting at 3rd for defensive rating. So I like New York here, man. This is a revenge spot for them. They did just lose to this Minnesota team here recently, and look, they got 2 more games coming up against them here as well. So Minnesota, actually, if you look at the Lynx, their next 3 games in a row are against the Liberty, alternating between at New York, then back at Minnesota, and then back in New York again. I don't know, man. This just feels like a spot like they won the last one. I feel like they kind of there's that potential for them to overlook New York here in the spot with 2 more games looming against them. If that's kind of feels crazy to say overlooking the Liberty, but with 2 more games ahead against the same squad, the injuries that they're facing, man, and the way that the Liberty have improved on the defensive end, all things are leading me towards them here in this game. So, like I said, crazy juice on the money line, but minus 150 if we take it over there at FanDuel with that profit boost. The next up, looking at Sonia Citron, her points over 14.5. Now we're seeing that number steadily increase, guys, right? You opened up the season, she was sitting at like 11.5, and as the year has gone on, we just see it going up and up and up and up, and we're sitting at 14.5 now. Minus 125 over there. I bet MGM is going to be the best price. And there's obviously a reason why, right? They traded away Brittany Sykes, their leading scorer. She is now the clear-cut number one option on offense, and she's hit this number in 4 of her last 5, crushed it that last time out against the Lynx, one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the WNBA. She lands at 26 points in that one, shooting the ball at a 75% clip, 9 of 12 from the field. Killed it from deep as well, 4 for 5 in that one. If you look at her in her last 5, shooting 53% from the field, 54% from deep. If you look at the wing, sitting at 11th in terms of points allowed, and against that guard position, it does increase some, but they're still middle of the pack, sitting at just 7th. And this is, it's going to be that rookie of the year battle, right? You got Sonia coming in here, going up against Paige Beckers, who is a game time decision. But it does look like she is going to play in this one. She is probable for this game. So that head-to-head matchup alone is going to be exciting and interesting in this game. And Paige is the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year right now. But you got Sonia on this side. You got Kiki on this side as well that want to make a name for themselves. Man, I think Sony goes hard in this game. And if we look at this, she has exceeded 15.5 points even in 4 of her last 5 games, not just 14.5, which is where we need her to get. She's averaging just under 20 points per game in her last 5, an 80% hit rate to that. And Dallas's defense is just really bad, guys. In their last 5 games, they're allowing the third highest shooting percentage from the field. They're giving up the second most threes and at the highest shooting percentage as well. So I like this here for Sony over 14.5. Now, I like this. This is kind of the same situation as that Emma prop, right? We can take that at 14.5 and play a little more juice, getting it at minus 125, or we can get that at plus money over 15.5 over there at No Vig. So got some options here with how we want to play this one, but at the end of the day, I do like Sony to get hers in this game here. Then we'd be looking at Jordan Canada of the Dream, her points and assists over 18.5, sitting at minus 115 over there at Hard Rock. Really good price there. It's juiced anywhere else you look at it, minus 132. And then a lot of the books have it at 19.5 right now, but we can get that 18.5 still at minus 115. I like that a lot. Sitting in the last 5, she's hit that at a 100% hit rate and crushing it. See what I'm saying? Like 18.5, she's averaging 23.5. So we'd love to see that. Push it back in her last 10, still averaging 22.5, hitting at a 70% rate, including 6 in a row. Love it, man. Head to head, she's hit twice on the year. Both times that they played Phoenix, she's hit over that mark and at a 60% rate in the last 5 games alone against them. She has exceeded this mark in 5 of her last 6 games now, exceeded that 19.5 points and assists mark. Like I said, we're looking at 18.5, averaging 22.8, 83% in the last 6 games. Gotta love it, man. I like this look a lot for Jordan Canada. She's been crushing it this year. I like her matchup here, going up against the rookie Akoa Makane. And then, maybe Kalia Copper rotates over from time to time. But, Kalia Copper is a just phenomenal scorer. She's an offensive powerhouse. Defense, she has her moments, but she's not an elite defender. I think Jordan Canada has her way with this backcourt today. And then there is the potential that we get Ryan Howard back in this one, which is only going to help Jordan, right? That's just another wing to throw the ball to knock down some three-point shots. So if we can see her out there, she is questionable, but if we see her out there, I like this even more. But even without her out there, man, this is a good matchup for Jordan Canada, in my opinion, against this Phoenix Mercury defense. Then we'd be looking at Derek Hamby with the next play, over 22.5 points plus rebounds, sitting at minus 110 right now at DraftKings and BetMGM. This is going to be the best price that you can find that one at. Looking at Derek in her last 5, hitting this at a 60% rate, averaging 24.4 points and rebounds. So getting up and over that mark. And then hitting at a 80% rate in the last 10, averaging 27.4. So we love to see that, right? We can look at her head to head as well. Now she has split on the season 1-1. And this one here, and this is kind of the thing with Derek, man, like you can see that getting crushed in this game. They lost by 31 points, only played 25 minutes. But then we come up over here, right? The double overtime game, and she crushes that number, 21 points, 13 rebounds. And we see that she had 41 minutes in that. And it's kind of the same thing. You look at the last 10, those games that she doesn't hit, those are big losses, 89 to 74. And then that 72 to 59 loss here. She doesn't hit in either of those games, and the minutes are lower, right? Because they're bigger losses, and she is not out there on the court. Yeah, sitting at minus 110 over there at DraftKings. Definitely a good price here for Derek Hamby, and she's been crushing this line. Been very consistent this season as well. So I like looking at this one for her. Then the last play I'd be looking at, Asia Wilson. We've hit on this once, and then we took it again, and we did not hit. So 50-50 on the year so far with this play specifically. Looking at her to score the most points in this game. Then next up, be looking at Asia Wilson. This is going to be our last play of the day. Going to be the last game of the night as well. The Sun taking on the Aces. Now we're looking at Asia to score the most points in this game. That's sitting at minus 105, almost even money. Now the only thing that scares me with this one is if this one turns into a blowout and she ends up sitting, right? And she doesn't end up getting a ton of points. But I think they look to her early and often, and she comes through for us because the thing is, she is obviously the best player of the court. You look at the starting lineup on either side, and she is by far and away the best player stepping out there on the court. And head to head, she has hit this at an 83% rate in her last 6 games against the Sun, but 100% this season. These are the 3 games that they played against the Sun this season, and she was the leading scorer on either side in all 3 of those games. The Suns' interior defense is really, really weak, guys. They're giving up the second highest shooting percentage from both inside and outside the restricted area in the paint. Asia Wilson loves that little that area outside the restricted area in the paint. Not necessarily right underneath the hoop, but that like 5 to 10 foot range, man. She's just bread and butter with that fadeaway jump shot. And she's shooting 52% from the field right now. Let's go ahead and look at her in her last 5 games. Scrolling down, 52% from the field, guys, crushing it. But she's also taking some threes, right? Not taking a lot. One here, 4 in this game, and then none against the Golden State in that rematch, but then 1 here. She's crushing them though. 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1, right? 1 for 4 here. So I can't say we're crushing it, but hitting at a 50%, 57% rate from 3-point land in her last 5 games. So adding another dimension to her offensive game, man. Scary for the rest of the league for sure, but definitely like that for us here for her scoring the most points in this game. Like I said, at minus 105, I definitely like those odds. So that is going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content today. I hope you found it helpful and useful. And if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you have not already. And that is going to do it, guys. Hope everybody cashes out and has a great night, and I'll see you back tomorrow for the next one.